Sheriff Franklin says women are typically targeted in kidnapping scenarios. He says it's important that whenever you're leaving somewhere and going to your vehicle alone, to walk with confidence and be aware of your surroundings. Don't rummage through your purse. Always have your key in your hand before you get to your vehicle so you can immediately get into your car and lock the door behind you.
But I just heard from the mayor of Troy on his Facebook page. He is being up to date with us, giving us those updates that he's got. There is a tractor trailer down going north of 231 right by the Walmart in town. So if you can, stay off the road. For most men and women that walk through these doors, the world may only see this color orange, but the Crenshaw County Detention Facility is giving their men and women a second chance at success.
The National Weather Service was out here Monday morning assessing the damage. We won't know how severe that tornado was for a couple more days now, but just to show you how strong those winds were, here's one of many trucks completely flipped over.
Now, when we were in this room today, you actually spoke out and said, give Mr. Davis the time to express the reason why we are here with this, which is the ethics violation complaint that was essentially leaked by someone. And do you feel that what happened was fully expressed today? He says that he wants to push for higher wages for educators, invest in programs for elementary and collegiate students, along with the lottery, using that money to go towards education. And there's a way to tell if this is the good kind of snow, and it has to do with the snowball. So it's not forming a ball, it's just a little too soft. It's not that thick as you want it to be, but it is coming down and it is staying on the ground right now, and that really doesn't help us on the roads. For most men and women that walk through these doors, the world may only see this color orange, but the Crenshaw County Detention Facility is giving their men and women a second chance at success.
Get up, eat breakfast, go back to bed, get up, eat lunch, clean around jail.
Every day looks the same behind bars. Not even their thoughts can escape.
It was stressful. It gets a little easier, but you still miss your family.
Right now, offenses like theft, felony of a possession of a firearm read on some of these men's records. Officials are hoping this new program will give them something to live for.
You don't have an education, if you don't have skills, then it's extremely tough to find a good quality, high-paying job. So they won't slip back into the same old routine with the same old people and commit the same crimes.
But as you get more experience, you get better at it.
The county approached LBW Community College to enroll their inmates in the college's Skills for Success program, an opportunity anyone in the state of Alabama can enroll in. Heavy machinery, electrical, CDL, and food and beverage certifications are being offered. Over 30 licenses have already been issued, and 66 inmates are on their way to receive their credentials by the end of the month. These men tell me they're ready to get to work and hope employers will welcome them too.
It's all about second chances, and that's something that's earned, not given. So, if we pay our debts to society, I hope that they'll look over our mistakes.
Being able to rehab accurately just gives us an opportunity to hire them in some of the skill sets that we know we need in Crenshaw County.
I'm Julia Avant, WSFA 12 News. Amy Dix, mother of one, sister of four, and friend to many, says her life was filled with love and adventure.
She loved to go and do and be with friends. She was always hardworking. She worked from the time she was 16.
That on-the-go life looks different now after what happened one Friday afternoon. Do you remember that day?
I remember everything of that day, every minute, every second.
She was driving to a Montgomery car dealership. Her husband needed work done on his truck.
I drove to Atlanta Highway. I was at the red light at Red Lobster, and I heard gunshots, but at the time I couldn't tell if it was fireworks. Like, it really just kind of caught me off guard.
She says she ducked for cover, and when it got quiet, she thought it was over.
And when I sat up in my car, a bullet came through my driver's side window and hit me right here in the arm. At that moment, it was very movie-like. It was very slow motion. I knew I was gonna die. And the first thing I did was pray. And I said, "Dear Heavenly Father, forgive me for the sins I've said and done, and accept me into the gates of heaven."
But it wasn't her time. She gathered enough energy to call her husband and then her mom.
She said, "Mom, I've been shot." And I said, "Who is this, Amy?" It just took me back, and she said yes, and then I could hear the police.
From there, the next thing Amy remembers was waking up in the hospital. She was paralyzed.
Woke up and they told me, I think I already knew. It was just a feeling that I had, and that I knew I wasn't going to have the use of my legs and I would never walk.
From that moment, Amy tells me she feels many emotions: grateful, sad, and mad. Tonight at 10, I'll show you how she's doing 5 months later and how she feels about the 5 suspects charged in this shooting not being behind bars.
Schuberger has got shot and he's laying here on the ground, unresponsive.
A life taken too soon. An 18-year-old with a future planned, ready to start a new job with the state alongside his father.
Latavion Johnson grew up right here in Troy, graduate from Charles Henderson High School. His friends and family say a very lively soul.
He was a loving person. I like to pick at him in the life he had.
The family at a loss for words after his sudden death in a shooting at Tuskegee University, and the death of Latavion's sister, who died in the last year, leaving behind a son. Family members say Latavion had been helping take care of his nephew.
So being here again, seeing them mourn, it hurts me.
But what the family does know is they won't stop until justice is served and the guns are put down.
Throughout this state of Alabama, they got to do something. They got to definitely do something. Because if it don't, we all gonna fade away. If I can just touch one person hard and stop the gun violence, it'll be okay. It really hurts. It really hurts. You're missing your child all because somebody want to shoot.
In Pike County, I'm Julia Avant.
From being the commissioner of that department to the biggest fan.
After more than 5 years on the job as Alabama's Veteran Affairs Commissioner, Admiral Kent Davis is coming to terms with his departure, despite the fact he says there's more work left to be done.
And we have things like 2 major federal inspections coming up of our cemetery and our brand new state veterans home that are built into those plans before December 31st. And our federal funding is contingent on those inspections.
During a specially called meeting on the state's VA board, Davis received widespread praise from board members who voted for a second time that they had confidence in his leadership, to veterans who had traveled to Montgomery from around the state.
Commissioner Davis has, been the best commissioner we've had in recent memory. I mean, I'm talking the last 20 or 30 years, and why would she ask probably the only bureaucrat in Montgomery who's effective and actually praised by his constituents.
But just minutes after that meeting, Governor Kay Ivey announced she would remove Davis from his post.
The governor called this meeting. She didn't even have the decency to show up herself to preside at it. The votes didn't go her way, and it made her mad. And when the governor gets mad, she gets even, and she has gotten even with this.
The governor has said in the past Davis mishandled federal grant money and filed a frivolous ethics complaint. Accusations Davis denies. His attorney says it's that ethics complaint that upsets Ivey the most.
He was duty bound. The commissioner had board members, multiple board members come to him, say they thought there were irregularities in the Department of Mental Health and the way the ARPA funds were handled.
The governor has since appointed a new VA commissioner. After serving as assistant commissioner for operations and chief of staff, Jeffrey L. Newton will now move into the top job as an interim basis. Yes, and today, Val, the city did demolish whatever was left of the building, the vacant building behind me. Councilman C.C. Calhoun says he has yet to look at the report if any bodies were found, whatever remained in that building. However, I spoke to a contractor who lives in the area. He said that this building caused a lot of problems, from theft to even murder. But C.C. Calhoun says it's going to take a community effort to find compromise for all.
On a daily basis, you know, when we ride by, we see homeless, we see people here, and we know we have squatters at that location. So, you know, yes, it's homeless people living up in there, or just people might need to be homeless as they're standing there because of the illegal activity that goes on.
The building the city has been trying to demolish has affected properties surrounding it.
They stole a GPS system of ours. It was like $40,000. They stole my kid's bike, my wife's bike. What everybody says, there was 4 or 5 people that were killed in there. You know, that there was like the...
Who said that?
Oh, it's just like everybody that's been in there.
Executive Director of the Mid-Alabama Coalition for the Homeless says vacant buildings are the only place for homeless people to go when shelters aren't available.
They're just trying to meet a need. And sometimes an accident may occur.
Something that Councilman Andrew Zemansky says he has witnessed in his district.
What was so sad about that is that there really wasn't a good answer for where those people could go at that time. There were children there, adults and dogs.
Both Mann and Zemansky says the answer lies within warming centers.
There's a severe gap in services for shelters, especially after the Salvation Army closed.
And right now, we're not seeing a decrease in the number of people that are in our city that need our help. And so it's definitely something that I see and definitely something that I think we need to respond to.
Mann calls on Montgomery to do more, much like other metro areas in Alabama.
Big thing that the city could do is to, you know, create a line item in their budget. I mean, we are the designated HUD, continuum of care in that area.
However, Councilman Calhoun says that the city is doing everything that they can, and they're calling on the community, between businesses to organizations that are in the area. There have been situations where the city and the Salvation Army have found an area to develop. However, the businesses and community members in that area did not welcome them. It's going to take a community effort.
I don't give myself any expiration dates on anything.
After retiring from her job at JCPenney, Andreline Day felt she had more life to live and learn.
I think I would like to do something geared more to my peers.
She was thinking of getting a psychology degree.
You know, I can't afford to go to school.
After high school, Day was enrolled at ASU, but couldn't afford to finish. So after all these years, her sons stepped in.
He said, well, Mom, I'm not going to give you a Christmas present. I'm not going to give you a birthday present, which is in January. He said, how about if I send you back to school?
For the past 4 years, Day earned her degree right from her bedroom. She admits she loved learning, but like so many students, had her troubles with earning a degree from a desktop.
I love to read. That's not a problem. I'll do the assignment. But now, I'm supposed to put it in this computer. How the hell am I supposed to do that?
Day gave up for just one day.
Seeing that fear of failure that kicked in, and I must do this for myself because this is the last opportunity I'm going to have to do this.
Fast forward to now, she's walking across the stage accepting her diploma from Troy University. She hopes her story will encourage those who don't see the light at the end of the tunnel or fear their time is running out.
Life is probably there because I am closer to the end, you know, than the life I left behind. And I've got to grab as much of it as I possibly can while I can.
For 20 years, Fairview Avenue has looked just like this on New Year's Day. Bands, floats, and thousands of people ringing in the new year. But it's not just to celebrate the time of year. It's to celebrate the progress of the area of West Montgomery.
It's political. We want the politicians to come back to West Montgomery, a community that received very, very little economic development.
And this year, the extra attention is paying off. Founder of the parade, William Boyd, says the area is welcoming a $2 million grant, something he says will bring more jobs and something those who live close by are wanting, even the younger ones.
What are you guys looking forward to in 2025?
Well, probably some new attractions around town. Need Chick-fil-A.
But even in their early stages of life, they've seen some growth.
My favorite place is Wingstop.
Mine is Taco Bell.
Hey! I've been going to the parade since I was about, I want to say 5 or 6 years old.
Now, years later, he says the area looks completely different. And the celebration shows that small towns that are often forgotten matter and show growth amongst humanity.
When you can come together like this and, you know, no violence, no fighting, no shootings, nothing like that, that actually makes the city look good as a whole.
In Montgomery, I'm Julia Avant, WSFA 12 News.